Hi and welcome to another demonstration of Contact Enhance. On this occasion I'm going to demonstrate how Contact Enhance can enhance records collected through GetResponse. GetResponse is a form tool, a very popular form tool, has a lot of functionality, allows people to create forms and then publish them anywhere. Social media, WordPress sites, you name it. It's a very simple tool. However, as with most of this kind of stuff, we don't want to be asking people too many questions, otherwise they're going to abandon the form. In fact, on GetResponse's own form, they just ask for an email address and a first name. So I'm going to show you guys how you can enhance that record if it's a business email address with business information for insight. What I've done is I've gone in, I've created a GetResponse account, which is free. I didn't add any contacts because I'm only doing this for demonstration purposes, but I did click on create a form. When I had clicked on create a form, what appeared was a page that allowed me to do a list build wizard. I selected that, and once I had done that, I was able to create a form from one of these templates that appears. The site's a little slow to respond, but that could of course just be my it could be my broadband. But anyway, once you've selected the template, you've got a little monster there building the form for you, and you've got some very basic information, the email address and the first name. So I just left it at that. I didn't do anything else. I then clicked save and publish. I didn't bother putting it onto my own site, so I just selected GetResponse will host my web form, and I got this link here. So if I copy that link there and then go to a new browser, and if I type that form in, or if I just paste it in and press enter, then that will give me my form. So there it is. So that's pretty simple, and when I add an email address to that and a first name, it will, when I click submit, go through to my form. So I actually already did that. So instead of doing that whole thing again, I'm just going to go back over here, and I'm going to go through to my dashboard and look at the form that I built a little earlier. It's got a couple of subscribers on it. That's just me. I've just been testing it. But I do have my form and it is working. So what I'm going to do in my Zapier account is I'm going to create a new Zap. So click on Make a Zap. And then once I've got that come up, the trigger event is going to be GetResponse. So it is a premium account, which means that you do have to have a paid Zapier account in order for this to work. You can test it on the free account, but you cannot run it real life on a basic account. On a free account, sorry, but basic accounts, Zapier, it's just 20, I think it's $20 a month, something like that. So I'm going to run this every time a new contact appears on my form. So click save and continue, and then once I've done that, I've already connected my GetResponse account. It was very easy. In fact, I just clicked on a link, and because I already had a GetResponse account, it took me straight to the security token. I copied and pasted that into the dialog window, clicked enter, and it gave me this page here. Just tested that, and that's working nicely. So if I click save and continue, it uses the name campaign, which means list. So my list is just Duncan. Click continue there. Once I've got that, make sure that a contact has been created. You saw that I had 2 people on it already. It's found one of those, and there it is. And if I scroll down here, you'll see that the information I gave was a name and an email address. Click continue, and we will then look for Contact Enhance. So Contact Enhance, there we go. We're going to use this query here, which is the only query that we've got at the moment, Contact Enhance, which is find a company. So click save and continue, and then I'm going to select this account, which is the account I'm currently using. You can see that I've got a few, but you'll only have one. Then click save and continue. Once I've done save and continue, I can use my identifier, which is going to be my email address, and I've got a value here which I can get from GetResponse, which is the email address there. I'm going to search by domain, click yes, and I'm going to click continue. Then I'm going to click search and continue, and it's going to look for that email address on the database, and once it finds it, it's going to come back here and tell me that that was successful, and it shows me the information about the company that was found. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a final step. Now, if you look at GetResponse, you can't actually update a contact. You can find a contact, but you can't update one. So that's interesting. And that is a bit of a pain, really, because it means you can't complete the step straight into GetResponse. Therefore, what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to go into a Google Sheet. So select Google Sheets, pretty straightforward, create a spreadsheet row, click Save and Continue. And what this will do is if you select your Google Sheets account, click Save and Continue, you can select a spreadsheet here, and then you can select a worksheet. And every time information comes in, it will be sent through to there. So what I'm going to do just for now is I'm going to go to my Google Sheets. There we are. And once I'm into Google Sheets, I'm going to create a new sheet. And this new sheet will be for this particular exercise. So I'm going to call this sheet, I'm going to call it GetResponse test. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to rename the actual worksheet Duncan, which is the same as my form. And then here I'm going to put a couple of fields in. So the email address I want, but also let's say I want the company name, and I want the annual revenue, and I'd like the employee bandwidth, and I'd like to have a description of the company. So let's press and put all that stuff in. Then I can go back over to Zapier. I'll click spreadsheets, and as long as it's loaded the right one, yep, look, it's found GetResponse test, and the worksheet should be called Duncan. So now I can click continue there. Annual revenue, so let's have a look, find the company. Annual revenue is there, there we are. The company name, if we look for the company name, there we go. The employee bandwidth, find that, there it is. The description of the company, that comes from SIC codes, which are provided by Companies House, so I'm going to select that. And the email address, because I'm putting this information into a form, into a Google Sheet, I'm going to put that back in as well. So click continue there. Once I've done that, I can click create and continue. And what that should now have done is it should have updated my sheet. I'm just going to save this CE GetResponse demo. And then I'm going to just put that into my demonstrations and click yes. Now, I've got a basic account, so it's allowed me to save it, and it will work on everybody that completes that form. However, if you do have the free account, it won't. If I come back over here, you can see that Zapier just added this record to make sure it could access the file, and it's put the email address in, the company name. It's also put in the annual revenue, the employee bandwidth, and the advertising and market research as my description. So that information there is now being collected, but it's also left me in a bit of a weird position, because I've got, in GetResponse, I've got my list, but it's just my email addresses. And in my Google Sheet, I've got the email address with all the additional information. You can create additional fields, so you've got add custom field here, so you could put additional fields in to your form, and you could start working with that. So for example, one of my fields is going to be annual revenue, so I could put ANREV like so, single text value, confirm, yeah, I don't want to show that to anybody on the form, click save custom field. And what I could then do is I could go along to my dashboard again, and I could import add contacts. If you click on add contacts, then you can import them. Upload a file, and you've actually got another service here which is go straight to Google Docs, which would bring the file in straight away. And that's how to update your GetResponse form with information on people, businesses through Contact Enhance. Any questions, do let us know. Thanks for listening. Bye.